Welcome back for RPG Chat. This time we're going to go over Final Fantasy V. Now there's actually quite a bit to go through with this game. So we'll just start with kind of the basics that we go over in the start of all the other ones, and then continue on from there. Now I usually start with a new game and kind of go through stuff without like a whole bunch of progress done on it, but I'm going to go ahead and start with this one because it takes a little while in a new game to actually get up to the point where you can show this part. But in Final Fantasy V, they brought the whole job system back. But this one has been refined so well from when 3 had it that it's actually pretty good. So this one, you can kind of see what special things each job class has. So like warriors protect allies low on health. Monks are good with hand-to-hand. So you can see each one kind of has its own little specialty to it. But then there's also, when you are equipping someone to one of these jobs, you can see the abilities. You learn the abilities as they level up in the job. And then you can equip a second ability. So, I mean, I can, like, have my Dragoon have steal from a thief. Or they're even passive things, like I can have him equip katanas, ribbons. I can make him berserk. So there's just a whole bunch of customization you can do on here. There are some other job classes that exist. I'm not really going to get into too much of what they do, just in case you're wanting to play it and discover some of those, but there is quite a bit of customization you can do just by changing around what characters you have, what job classes they have, and what special abilities they have in addition to that. And just because I touched on in some other ones, you can change the formation independently for each character. So as normal, you kind of want the casters in range to be in the back so they take less physical damage, and you want the melee ones to be in the front so they cause more physical damage. This one also, like how 1, 3, and 4 have, not really 2, but has the whole leveling system. You get experience, jump up to other levels. This has, where the job skills can go up, so quite a bit of improvement you can have for each character. So they did bring it back in this one where you go to a shop and you purchase spells, but you purchase it once and then every character that is that job class knows that spell. It definitely helps out having where you just have to buy it the one time and then everyone can use it. Then you have the armor shop, you have the weapon shops, just some of the standards. You have the inn, and you have an item shop here. So a lot of that aspect of it hasn't really changed from even the first one. You have the different shops for each thing. Some of them will have it where you have the weapon and armor shop in the same building, but it just depends which little town that you're in. So as far as combat, this has a standard combat. I mean, you start off, everyone's the same class, so all of you just have attack and item. You don't get the other classes really until you get to the first crystal, which kind of like what the other games have, you learn the classes from the crystals. Except for kind of a bonus one. And everyone gains experience, you get the money, you get job points, but freelancers don't actually get any job points, so you can't really go up any job levels as a freelancer. And my character's name is French, that is Suben-like. And then we get into the big part, the story of the game. So the first part, as you see here, we actually get this cool ride, Mr. Boko. Can't go wrong with Boko. You get to start off with him. There are multiple rides you get. Usually when you get a ride in this game, expect to lose it within the next few minutes. I mean, spoiler, Boko does stay alive through the whole game, so you don't have to worry about that. As far as where you're supposed to go, this game is pretty good at kind of describing where you need to go next. There are a couple spots where you may not exactly know, but usually if you just do a little bit of exploring around, you'll find it with no issues. They also have a lot of nice spots where there are like secret enemies, different things like that. So one of the classes is a summoner. There are a few different areas where they're kind of bonuses you can go to, where you can get like a nice additional thing to summon. pretty early in the game, you do get to kind of complete your team, like your team of 4. And it's one of the big differences from kind of like how 4 was, how I believe it was 2. It's you don't always in the other ones have everyone is pretty much just a good person. In this one, everyone is pretty much a good guy or gal or whatever, but in some of the other ones, it's like, hey, you start off, you're a pretty terrible person in 4 when you start off, but then you kind of redeem yourself and then turn to the light side. But this one, you don't really have much of that. I mean, having or everyone is good in this one doesn't really, or technically good in this one, doesn't really ruin from the story. You just don't really get that whole redemption arc of a character that is kind of fun to have sometimes in different games. There are 3 different parts. Some places online kind of call it 3 different worlds in here, but it's like, to me, the first part was just basic. Like, I didn't really get into it until the second part, and then that's where I really started getting into the story, and it completely turned the whole game around. And the third part, it's like, wow, this game is actually really awesome. So, I mean, if you're playing it, you may not be that excited about this initial world part in here, but if you keep playing through it, then it definitely completely changes. But also in the story, I mean, you get to see cool things like a Super Saiyan turtle here. I mean, what other turtle has the ability to do this kind of stuff? I mean, look at that speed. And they thought the hair was fast. You also got to be introduced to Moogles in this game. Because, I mean, who doesn't like Moogles? Mog was definitely one of the best ones in Final Fantasy VI. You get to watch a grandkid get in there and just start slapping his grandfather for some apparent reason. Yeah, normally people say no apparent reason, but there's a reason here. And you get to watch your characters fart and fly through the air. We'll watch that one more time. Must have had a lot of Taco Bell. And everyone likes some good video game music, so like when you use a tent or a cabin or go to an inn, you get to hear Inspector Gadget's theme song. So I mean, yeah, I kind of made some jokes about some of the stuff there, but really this game is extremely good. I definitely do recommend playing it. It is, I mentioned, it is a little slow starting off for the first world, but when you get into the second world, things start picking up and everything just starts making a whole bunch of sense, and it's pretty awesome. So let me know in the comments if you've played Final Fantasy V before, what your favorite part is, if you're wanting to play it. Also let me know what other Final Fantasy games you like, if you like ones more than this. I mean, 4 is definitely really good, so it's kind of hard comparing this one to 4 because they're both good. Also, if you're enjoying these RPG chats, please subscribe, leave a thumbs up, let me know in the comments anything I could be doing better with this. I did put a little survey up for a few different games for the options next on here, trying to decide between Earthbound, Chrono Trigger, Mario RPG, and Final Fantasy VI. Look at all those job classes laying on the ground. They are crystal fragments and stored within the power of warriors of legend. Knight, monk, blue mage, thief, black mage, white mage. And with all the battle and run speed increases and everything in here, I think that was about 30 minutes of playtime to get up to the point where we can change the job classes. As far as complaints about the game, I don't really have any. I mean, there's some times where their cutscenes will seem to take quite a bit of time. They just do one thing and just keep repeating it multiple times, but it's part of the story. I know it makes sense, but other than that, I don't really have any complaints about it. I really like how they made the job system with the abilities and everything so easy to understand in this one. It's like, hey, what does a blue mage do? Mage has the ability to learn monster special skills. Or a black mage wizard whose powerful black magic strikes fear into enemies. Doesn't get much easier than that. So let me know in the comments what you think of Final Fantasy V, and if it's your favorite one, least favorite, what your favorite Final Fantasy game is. Well, I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.